Welcome back for your second helping of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles in this new decade, the year 2020. I am Ross Bolen, here of course with my buddy Barrett Dudley to bring you the best TV shows and movies weekly in an easily digestible podcast packed with laughs. Barrett, how excited are you for today?
I'm pretty damn excited, Ross. We are going to, among other things, get very witchy with it today, I expect.
I expect as well.
Yeah, and
I'm expecting.
and then also, I've got. It's taken me like 10 days, but I've got a new resolution for the year.
Okay.
Which is to grow my hair out as long as the guy from Avatar, so that I can connect it with this podcast microphone.
With this mic.
Yeah. Much like the Na'vi do with their flying beastie creatures that they are emotionally and psychologically connected to through
In the film Avatar.
brainwaves in the film Avatar
Jake Sully.
from 2009. There you go. Thank you for reminding me of the name.
Jake Sully.
Here's why I'm thinking about this. I caught some of Avatar on FX last night,
Okay.
and I'm a YouTube TV guy now, by the way.
Wow.
Which
That's a
I
big
mean,
step.
for a couple months now, several months even. But really, it's just nice to have like TV on in the background.
Yeah.
That's just not something that I wanted out of my life. So
No,
YouTube TV
silence makes me very uncomfortable.
YouTube TV is a great way to do that. But so we're cooking, hanging out, watching a little bit of Avatar. First of all, Laura pointed out, and I guess I kind of remember this conversation from 10 years ago. But this movie basically just stole the plot of Pocahontas and like infused it with some
Fern Gully. Yeah.
And so that's weird.
Fern Gully, which by the way, if you go watch now, is horrifying.
Yeah.
It's a scary movie.
Like not for kids.
No. I'm an adult 32-year-old man, and I watched it a few weeks back stoned, and it scared the shit out of me.
But also, this is like one of the most successful movies internationally.
Ever.
It made like, I don't know, $14 billion. No, probably not that much. But it is up there. You know what I mean? Oh,
it made
actually,
2.6.
Okay, so
2.76 billion worldwide.
I tried to exaggerate it, and yeah, $2.8 billion.
Good God.
So,
and then this year it was allegedly passed by Avengers Endgame.
Okay,
but nobody
gotcha.
knows how any of the financials of any of this shit work.
So, but tell me, like, is this a movie that sticks with you?
I mean, I'll always remember when Avatar came out.
It's weird that it didn't have more of an impact. And I heard, like, I saw it last night, and then I literally had on a podcast today that mentioned it because they were talking about the beginning of the last decade, and this kind of led up to that, right?
And where we're at
into
now?
2010.
Sure.
But what did this movie do? What did it change? Did it didn't, at least like with Avengers, that's like the capstone on, this decade-long movement towards the biggest box office smash hits being these Marvel and these superhero films.
And to your
right,
biggest part of that being the build-up.
Yeah, and early in the
Crazy
decade,
build-up.
we spent the decade going from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, which like...
I mean, it took how many movies to get to Endgame?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Avatar, it's like James Cameron was off making some weird, creative, hootenanny camera stuff. It's not like people adopted that. He's just off in his own world doing crazy mad scientist shit, and he's apparently making more of these things now.
Yeah, he's out there doing sequels.
But, like, tell me this. Are you amped up for Avatar 2?
No. I mean, no. I don't even understand what they're going to do from here. So Avatar, for those of you who haven't seen it, it doesn't matter because, as Barrett pointed out already,
it
the
made
entire
$2.8 billion, Ross. Everybody has seen this movie.
Yes, and everybody's seen it, and you didn't have to know the plot. You didn't have to see it to know the plot. That plot has been done so many times, as you said. Like, it was basically Pocahontas, Fern Gully, and a couple other movies with some twists and maybe a little bit of this and that. But the cool part of Avatar was the technology stuff, and it was the first 3D movie.
It was a uniquely
what happened to the 3D
immersive
thing, by the way?
3D experience.
Are we not doing 3D anymore?
No,
I haven't been forced to wear a pair of those glasses in forever.
You can go see 3D movies still. Movies still released in 3D, but it is like I purposely avoid it.
It must be fewer and far between than it was.
I don't like wearing glasses for. Maybe part of it is that all movies are like 4 hours long now, and I don't want to wear glasses for 4 hours.
Well, name a movie where you saw it in 3D and you were like, this was life-changing. Even Avatar in 3D versus regular, it was cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cool experience, kind of like going to the IMAX or kind of like going and seeing a laser light show. But come on, man, it wasn't that big of an added element.
I mean, but that's what I guess what I'm saying is that Avatar was maybe that might be the most memorable part of it for me, is that the 3D experience was actually like semi-worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't know. It's just a weird thing to have this like. I think this movie would have been roasted on Twitter if Twitter had been around for it.
It is pretty
like
silly.
it would have ignited 1,000 different memes, I feel like.
It would have for sure been meme central, but I feel like we made pretty good fun of it, even like pre-social media madness. Like the movie did get roasted a bit. Like it was silly as fuck, and everybody knows James Cameron's a weirdo. Like it was written in a cheesy way. You know, it was silly. It was fun though, but it was weird for like a however hundreds of millions of dollars project for him to tackle. And then to still be doing Avatar. And then weirdly, it doesn't really have a place in like the legacy of movies. Considering its global budget impact and shit.
Right. So I just thought that was interesting. But you can look forward to me linking up to this microphone in just a whole new way.
We all look
later this year. Yeah.
Are you gonna do Geralt for Halloween? Do you
Geralt?
feel,
do you mean Geralt?
Do you feel the obligation?
No.
Geralt. It's the soft Witcher.
Get out of here.
The much softer Witcher in a town over.
Yeah, that's the beige wolf, not the white one.
Not the white one.
No. I don't think so.
You're teasing people. That's what they're gonna think.
Yeah. No,
That is what they're gonna think.
I couldn't do Henry Cavill justice. Man, you know what I mean?
You feel intimidated by that role?
In this most recent episode, you know when he soaks in bathtubs on the occasion.
He's very good at this,
and he's just very like. Do you remember? I remember when I was in like late middle school, early high school. I had a poster of Britney Spears on my wall.
Yeah.
And it was like,
which one was it?
Sort of from a music video, but it's more like she's wearing the outfit from the music video, and she's like doing like a pose for the photo shoot or whatever that's going to go on the posters.
Okay.
I need one of these with Henry Cavill doing the bathtub thing, but he's posing for the pictures for the poster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of like such a brooding, scowl, he's giving me a little bit more of a flirty.
You want a little smirk to it.
Yeah, a little smirk to it.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
exactly.
We'll
I'll put that up on the wall. I'll get that shit framed.
We'll see if we can make that happen. We will be discussing The Witcher today, obviously, through episode 4. So the Witcher Hive will continue buzzing, and then we are going to present y'all with the 2020 lineup of entertainment coming your way in the form of TV and movies all year long, baby. We are psyched for a new year of burning holes in our eyes with you. Speaking of which, this episode of OCC is also brought to you by Felix Gray. You may not realize it, but the average American blasts their eyes with bright screens for 11 hours every day. And when you consider how much of our day revolves around our devices, our TVs, our computers, our cell phones, that's not that crazy. I'm legitimately staring at like 4 screens right now, technically. So it's 11 hours a day easy for me. And the fact is, we can't eliminate extensive screen time from our lives anymore. Technology has become too prevalent. But you can protect your eyes from it with a pair of Felix Gray blue light filtering glasses available in both prescription and non-prescription. Most of us Americans live with tired, dry eyes, blurry vision, or headaches caused by all these screens. At the end of the day, if that sounds familiar for you, Felix Gray glasses are for you. And they're going to filter out 90% of that high-energy blue light and eliminate 99% of glare coming from your daily barrage of screens. Unlike other blue light filtering glasses, they actually use proprietary blue light technology embedded into the lens as opposed to cheap coating that can easily chip or scratch over time, which is what some of their competitors use. Felix Gray is on a mission to make fashionable, high-quality blue light protection widely accessible by offering a variety of frames for all face shapes and style preferences. I have the Faraday frames in black from Felix Gray. Faraday. You can check them out on their website. I wear them every night when my eyes get tired at the end of the night and I want to watch a little TV or a little bit of a movie to wind down before bed. I throw on my Felix Grays. Instant relief. It's crazy the difference they make with glare as well. Sometimes I wear mine when I game. They're handcrafted from the same high-quality materials used in high-end designer frames like organic Italian acetate and German-engineered steel. Felix Gray glasses are available in non-prescription, prescription, and readers. Adults, kids sizes, whatever you need, they got you. Don't go another day looking at screens without the help of some Felix Grays. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/OCC for free shipping and 30 days of risk-free returns or exchanges. That's felixgrayglasses.com/OCC, FELIXGRAY glasses.com/OCC. All right, let's get witchy with it. The Witcher through episode 4. Last week we discussed basically episode 1.
Going to your Witcher.
Yes.
We really do need to get that remix up on this pod.
The song, let's just start there.
I told you it was a banger.
Well, no, hold on. Let me get us caught up. For people who weren't here last week, we talked about episode 1, essentially. Barrett gave us some of episode 2. I apparently was barely awake watching that the first time through. I rewatched 2. I watched 3. I watched 4. We're going to talk through 4 today. Let's start with the song.
Yeah.
The song has taken over. The song is good enough to where the hype for the show has risen a level just because of the song. I'm serious.
Yeah.
The song is dope. You teased the song.
I did.
But when I got to it, my God.
Well, and they've done they clearly knew what they had with it as well, because they kind of tease it in episode 2. They end with it, and you're like, what the shit?
Like,
this is not old-timey medieval minstrel music. This is pop music.
But it's enough, though. It's got the vibe, Barrett.
And then in 3 and 4, they're running with that.
Oh, they're leaning into it,
They are
baby.
leaning in that this guy is, the Calanthy's even like, enough with the maudlin music. Play a jig, damn it. Play a jig.
Bard is the man.
Bard. So,
Fuck off, Bard.
They definitely, this is a...
Do you think...
This is a bit, and I like the bit.
Do you think they got through episode 2 and they were like, stop production, come back in 4 weeks, we have to rewrite the rest of the season, including the song, as many times as we can?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like somewhere along the way in pre-production, when they were getting that song together, somebody heard it and was like, oh, this slaps.
It's stuck in my head.
And then they were just like, they gave it to the writers' room, and they were like, feel free to use this in any way that you see fit.
The guy just crushes it, too. Every time he starts belting it, I'm like, fuck, yes. People are making animations and memes out of it and remixing it, and there's...
Kind of makes you want to take up the loot a little bit.
A little bit. We need the trap remix though from somebody to get up on here with our, of course, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. What would you call our theme song? It's not a trap mix. Our Oysters, Clams, and Cockles current one.
The intro.
Mm-hmm. What genre is that?
Is it?
Where would you hear that?
Is it not trap?
Quentin Rue? Is that how you say that?
I don't know what that is.
Is it in Mexico?
Oh, Quintana Roo.
Quintana Roo?
Yeah.
Quentin?
Quentin Roo. I was like, who's Quentin?
Quentin. Holy shit. Oh, God. To get back to The Witcher.
Yeah.
So, Barrett.
Yes.
Through episode 3, I'm feeling the flow. I'm in the zone. I like what we're doing. Things are going well. The fact that there's different storylines is starting to make a little more sense to me. I'm becoming wise to things.
Right.
And then episode 4 happens, and I feel like I've taken some drug that takes away all the sense that I had. It was just a very confusing, chaotic, and magical episode.
Well, you're going to be really just shocked to learn that I've actually rewritten my Bolen Media contract.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you're no longer paying me in cash. I've enacted the law of surprise.
Oh, for the not the law of surprise again?
Yeah, I'm doing it to you.
What? Why? What? Can you even explain to me what the law of surprise was? What it means?
I can, but I couldn't when they initially said law of surprise and then spent 30 minutes on a massive battle sequence that was, because of the law of surprise. The only explanation there is that they wanted you to just kind of have your jaw on the floor and be like, what is happening?
Oh, I did.
What is the law of surprise? Why is there a massive battle with like random people? It was like a battle royale. Random people are taking different sides for the law of surprise, against the law of surprise.
Switching sides during the law of surprise.
Yeah, the whole
surprise,
thing,
bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Complete mayhem, and then they don't even really explain the law of surprise until the final minutes of the episode.
No, but they do keep saying it enough times to make you think, man, they really should have named that something else. Because law of surprise just does not sound as tight as it should when you say it out loud.
Yeah,
it sounds like something Job would say in Arrested Development.
This is all part of. I don't want to. I want to make it clear that I'm very much enjoying this show. I think it's a lot of fun.
I'm enjoying the shit out of it. I just don't know what happened in episode 4.
But the law of surprise thing really plays into the whole like campy, like super campy, high fantasy piece of this show.
Yeah, that was a lean in right there.
Like every single piece of this show is really, it's like a high fantasy concept.
They didn't reel it back.
We got Law of Surprise. We got crazy. We got Enchanted Forest where you drink waters to forget. We got
Trees are talking.
Trees are whispering to you. We've got portals being opened in like a mass chain of portal jumping. We've got bugs stabbing you in the forehead. We've got assassins with face paint on. We've got
throwing knives.
Mages and witches. We've got the Witcher who we don't know. We got Mousesack doing all sorts of weird
other
shit.
Witchers getting
We've got the daughter of the princess of the Queen Calanthe who can do a bunch of magic and spin herself up into the air with a giant windy force field. We've got the Porcupine Man who was cursed. In episode 3, we had the girl who was
also
put into
cursed.
her dead mom's womb and totally cursed, and then was like a beast thing.
I thought that was crazy, and then we got to 4, and I was like, "What?"
This show, it barters. That's what it does. It is about like all of these ridiculous high fantasy like ideas and things.
But 4 felt like it started to spiral out of control.
I really liked 4 actually.
Okay, I watched it this afternoon, like a couple hours ago, right? And I mean, it was just, I guess it wasn't what I expect. Like through 3, I was like, all right, I kind of had a feel for like the pace or whatever, and I was starting to get a feel for the story. And then 4, we just spent so much time on the wedding, or the whatever that was, the fucking ceremony and the confusion of who was on which side of the Law of Surprise thing was a big part of me not really liking that. Yeah, that whole setup.
Do you feel like you grasp Law of Surprise now?
Sort of.
It's like you basically it's I think it only works in this era where people were gone from their homes for long periods of time. Because the way they made Law of Surprise sound is like he saves the king's life, right? Dooney saves the king's life.
Okay.
Dooney is Porcupine Man, by the way, or Dog Man or whatever he was. We'll go with Porcupine.
I thought he looked porcupiney. Hedgehog, perhaps.
Yeah.
Cousin of Sonic.
So he saves the king, and he's like, "No, I take no payment for this. I only take Law of Surprise." And so they go about their business.
It's just the name.
And then they come back, and he, like, I guess it's like the first thing you find out that you didn't know. It's like, well, that belongs to old Dooney over there now.
What the Here's the Witcher wiki has an explanation. Would you like it?
Yeah, give it to me.
The Law of Surprise is a custom as old as humanity itself. The law dictates that a man saved by another is expected to offer his savior a boon whose nature is unknown to one or both parties. Well, I'm lost, because what's a boon? In most cases, the boon takes the form of the saved man's firstborn child, conceived or born without the father's knowledge. Huh. Lately, I'm seeing a lot of confusion about the Law of Surprise. Blah, blah, blah. I thought everyone was familiar with that motif since childhood. People in Wikipedia. Come on. Redditors, of course they know all this shit. Yeah, I don't know. This is too much for me to read through all of it right now.
Anyways, Dooney made it sound like he was expecting like a bumper crop or a new pup, as Iced says.
Okay, yes.
But he comes back, and the queen is pregnant, and that's like a surprise. So he has the right to
claim her?
To claim her. Yeah.
Interesting. It was a very complicated way of revealing that chick was pregnant.
And by the way, you also gathered that the Witcher, Geralt, thank you.
Yeah.
Is entitled to Ciri.
What?
That's what happened there at the end. He's like, I don't need anything. And then Dooney's like, you have to take something. And he's like, fine, I'll do the Law of Surprise too. And then the chick throws up because she's pregnant with Cirilla, with Princess Cirilla.
Oh, yes. And then that's why. Okay, so then our magic, what's his name? Mouse Man, Mouse Butt?
Mousesack.
Mouse Hat?
Mousesack.
Mousesack.
like nutsack, but with a mouse.
Okay, Mousesack comes in, and then he explains to Geralt, your bond with this chick now is going to be some crazy shit, Geralt.
Now
Geralt's like,
obviously the way this is all set up makes me think that this bond, your claim, the Law of Surprise, it doesn't have to be like a hand in marriage, because I don't think we're going to go super creepy with that with like 100-year-old Geralt or however old he is.
Yeah, we don't know.
Claiming the hand of this 13-year-old. That'd get touchy.
It feels like it would be a stretch even for two guys who started this podcast about a show where aunts were banging nephews and such. That would be weird.
Yeah.
13-year-old girls typically. You don't think that Henry Cavill would have signed on for this project just to end up a
Yeah.
witchy pedo.
But here's so episode 4 is cool because it's right in the middle of this season, and it's filling.
There are only 8?
Yeah, it's filling in the blanks for us of. It's connecting the Geralt Witcher storyline with the Sintra Calanthe Princess Cirilla storyline.
Right.
And so
we're starting to see it come together.
So we're starting to see it come together. We're starting to see how he's connected to these people. And that was, I don't know, I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's fair. Again, it was just the law of surprise thing that really threw me.
And I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Law of surprise is a very silly sounding name.
They shouldn't have named it that.
Once again, they crushed the battle sequence.
And I know that all these Witcher Hive people listening are probably like, well, the law of surprise is from the book. Or the beginning.
Sure.
I know. I'm just saying cosmetically as a basic viewer, not a Witcher enthusiast, law of surprise was tough to take seriously coming out of a porcupine man's mouth.
We've been very clear about how we are critiquing and watching and approaching this show. We are Witcher noobs.
Very much so.
You know, we are coming in here with no knowledge.
But positivity.
And that's when you create a show like The Witcher, which you're pumping to the top of everybody's algorithms on Netflix, you have to expect a lot of people to be watching like we are. Hey, I'll tune into this crazy high fantasy show starring Henry Cavill and that has a bunch of cool fight sequences. Like you have to, you're making it for the fans. Obviously, you want to create a show that like matches what their vision of the books and how much they and the pieces that they really love from the game.
Right.
You want to match that, but you also have to make it for people that have no idea of what the hell this world is even about.
And so far, there haven't been too many points where, like, I'm not, like, so confused that I feel the need to go look up stuff or whatever. I'm letting it come to me as it does.
And I'm trusting the show that it's
working.
Yeah.
It's done its thing so far.
There's been a couple times where Laura will basically say something like, you know, she'll ask a question, and I'm like, don't worry, we're not supposed to know yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm letting the show do that, because they have to know
that we don't know. Yeah, we gotta have a little faith here. All right. Let's talk about Yennefer for a little bit. So what is it? Was it 3 when we finally see her take her transformation, go to the magic plastic surgeon and say, I want to be remade?
That's correct, yes.
That was some intense
Very
shit.
intense.
That up against Geralt fighting with the, however you say that monster, I can't do it.
A lot of kind of female empowerment in episodes 3 and 4. Female empowerment type stuff.
We knew this was going to be a great show for female characters when, from the get-go, the setup was all these daughters born under the black sun or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like, okay, cool, we're going to get a bunch of cool female characters.
But notable to me was that, like, Yennefer is exchanging, she's giving up her opportunity to bear children in order to have this, like, cosmetic redo, basically.
Right.
And that whole sequence was like had mad childbirth vibes going on with like how crazy, painful, and torturous it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And transformative and all that.
That's like what she gave birth to herself, basically.
Right. Yeah.
To her new self. Yeah.
So that was very intense. And yeah, then she storms into that ballroom, which once again, look, the CW vibes are here, man. That was basically a high school dance.
Fair enough.
Just noteworthy. That's all I'm saying.
It's true, and here's how I know. Because I have not watched very much shit on CW in my life, and I know what you mean. The vibes are there. They're there. And that doesn't mean it's a knock. They're just there.
They're just there. Yeah.
There's some CW vibes in that bitch. I don't know if it's the lighting or the way it's shot or something about it. There's some vibes.
It's all of it. It's all of it. It's the fact that it's, like we kind of started our conversation here about, that it's leaning so hard into the fantasy genre.
Yeah. That it just comes off as a little cheesy, and that's the CW feel, sort of, basically. Cheese. What else?
But yeah, so we had, speaking of the high school dance, by the way, we get a little look at the 2 kids who are the king and his sister.
Yeah.
Who are eventually going to bone down.
And cause... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool to see in the next episode after we've seen because the king was episode 3. The king and his sister situation that caused him to have to go fight that monster.
Yeah,
right?
but so was the dance.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah,
that
was
wasn't
all. That was all contained in one episode.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh my god. What else? The stuff in the portal jumping stuff. Then I felt like we went very quickly from like Yennefer going through her transformation to now we're in Yennefer 30 years into the game being a mage.
We jumped very and just to talk about the timelines a little bit, that showed us that the original Yennefer timeline is the earliest thing that we've seen.
Okay.
At least I feel pretty confident about that.
Okay.
Because now we're 30 years later.
Right.
And that's like that's a storyline that's like catching up to current
Geralt
timeline.
But we have old Geralt timeline that we don't know where that is.
Yeah, and we don't. That's the one. Like he obviously becomes the quote unquote Butcher of Blaviken much early. Like that story has spread. People know that. We don't know how long ago that was at this point, but we know that it's well before the present day Cirilla Forest of Goliad or whatever it's called.
That thing
timeline.
is,
Yeah. We're still catching up to that most present/future timeline.
Did you like that we got a taste of perhaps why Nilfgaard is so goddamn angry?
Yes, but I need more. We need more of the Nilfgaard story because the Nilfgaardians are everybody is just brutally murdering people in this show as well. You know, we get the tale of Calanthy's attack on the Elf King, who I'm calling Fiddlesticks because I can't remember the real F name.
King Fiddlesticks, of course.
But she murders the whole family. The soldiers are laughing. They're swinging babies from their feet, smashing their heads in.
Yeah.
Like, we get some pretty gruesome descriptions there.
Yeah, these people are gross. They're medieval.
Yeah.
The value of life is low.
That's correct.
I mean, people are switching teams during the fucking surprise thing. The what is it? The what of surprise? The
law of surprise.
The law of surprise. People are fucking switching teams during the law of surprise. Nobody knows what's going on. Just kill whoever. Law of surprise. Good God. So we've met a couple different Witchers at this point, right? We see the one get absolutely owned. I don't know. That guy.
Yeah.
What, he just hadn't leveled up enough times? He just showed up and was like, I'm a Witcher too. And they were like, all right, here's a monster.
Just not a very good one.
He got rocked.
Didn't even know how to handle a spiga? Spriga?
Steiga? Who could tell? Who knows? Witcher Hive losing their minds. We're sorry. But, well, we're 4 episodes in. Go listen to Game of Thrones Season 1.
There's also so many
names
and
places
words
and there's a lot.
Yeah.
Go listen to Game of Thrones Season 1. I didn't know Jon Snow's name until like podcast 8. I was calling him like good-looking brooding guy.
Striga.
I said Steiga. I was closest. Give me a point. Tyga. Bad rapper. Any other stuff you want to cover from...
That Striga was crazy, by the way. That was really... That was some...
The monsters in this thing are great.
Crazy kind of alien vibes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
A little bit. And I'm referring to the movie, the whole... her, whole vibe.
Oh, yeah.
I liked when he tries to wrap her in chains, and then she just, immediately busts them, and he drops the, fuck. He's very good at grunting. I think you talked about this, a week ago, that he does a lot of... A lot of subtitles just say, HM.
Yeah, he's great at that. And then the fucks. He's great F-bomb execution.
Yeah.
Fuck. Gets a good laugh out of me every time.
Yeah,
But the song's the best part. Drop a coin for your Witcher. Dude, have you heard the death metal remix?
No, I have not.
You gotta Google.
Okay. I saw the one that we posted. That was a
death metal
That was a
remix.
hot track.
That is a hot track. That was a bop. This is not that. This is very angry.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially, you can imagine it. When if you're in the shower later getting ready for bed, sing yourself the Witcher song, drop a coin for your Witcher, and then imagine what the death metal version would be and try to do it yourself, and that's exactly what you're in for.
Yeah.
It's going to be good times.
Yeah. No,
So we only have 4 more. I didn't realize we were halfway through.
We're halfway through here.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see how they bring this thing home because a lot of people I talked to have finished, okay?
Did you think that there was a little bit of sexual tension between Queen Calanthy, and Geralt?
I didn't get that vibe because she just gave me like all the tension in all the places vibes.
Okay.
But I would be open to that.
I mean, it's definitely not going to happen now. But she I think she kind of saw him as a respected peer. You know, we're two battle-hardened warriors.
Okay.
We don't care about all this destiny bullshit. Like, we just want to, go out there and kick in some heads and stuff like that.
Sure.
Right?
At one point,
kill the
wasn't she like,
monsters.
"Come watch me change, Witcher"?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So
And he was like, ugh.
But then she kind of seemed like she was kind of into him a little bit as well.
Maybe. I liked seeing the king in the past. The guy who inevitably eventually yells, "We're losing!"
Yeah.
I liked seeing the young him.
He's a fun character. I like
Hair less silly. He switched sides 3 or 4 times.
the
during
old
secrecy pack
iced.
there. I'm sorry, surprise.
Absolutely saw I thought for sure that Calanthe was going to kill Dooney. And she reaches for the knife to say, "Here's your destiny," but then her daughter, whose name I don't remember, like immediately
Striga.
snaps into the the wind tunnel force field thing.
Yeah, which she then controls to raise them up and to dance. And everybody else is like, "We can't fucking breathe and it's very loud in here." She's like, "We're spinning in the air in love. Leave us be." What was that? For like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
There's chaos in there.
Yeah.
Good God. Worst party of all time. Half the guests die because of the surprise.
Some would say it's a good
Porcupine
party.
surprise?
The Dothraki would.
They would.
The Dothraki consider a wedding a dull affair if it doesn't include
At least 2
At
deaths.
least 2 deaths.
Or something like that. What was that dude's name? Illyrio Mopatis?
Illyrio.
Was that it? Illyria?
That's
Close to that.
Definitely Illyrio. I can't remember his
I
last
feel like I was close enough to be, I should be given credit, right or wrong.
name. I think you nailed it.
Fair enough.
How about that?
Yeah. You ready to get into what's coming the rest of the year?
Yeah, you want to talk some 2020 preview type stuff?
Yeah, but first, this episode of OCC is brought to you by Postmates. Winter is here. It is cold. It is dark. It's dreary out there. Why venture out when you can stay in, continue binging The Witcher Season 1 with us, and get whatever you need brought to you with Postmates while you remain on the couch? Postmates is your personal food delivery, grocery delivery, whatever you can think of delivery service all year round. No more trips to the store. You don't even have to know where the store is. Forget about the store. Postmates will deliver anything to you. Just download the app for iOS or Android for free. Browse local restaurants and businesses and track your delivery 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Postmates will bring you what you want within the hour. Anything you're craving, Postmates can deliver. They're the largest on-demand network in the known universe with more than 25,000 partner merchants. For a limited time, Clam Fam, Postmates is offering you $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. All you have to do to start your free deliveries is download the app right now and use the code OCC. That's code OCC on Postmates for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Get anything you need anytime you need it. Download Postmates and save with code OCC. If you have never used Postmates, you're crazy. I'm going to be using it the second this episode ends. I'm going to put my Postmates in. I'm having Lubies tonight, baby.
Oh, wow. You going fried fish fillet?
Oh, God, you know it. But I don't go Luann. I go whole. I need that whole piece of fish, not the half.
Okay.
All right. Big year. It's January 8th. We've got a lot to look forward to. Barrett, run us through some of the TV shows and movies that you've got on your radar.
Well, there's a lot, obviously. 2020 is going to be quite a year. It's a new decade, and we are full on in the streaming wars.
Oh, God, they have started.
And 2 big points here are that 2020 will see the release of HBO Max.
Indeed.
The streaming service from HBO and Warner Media.
Indeed.
And the Peacock from NBC Universal.
Ah.
And
they're really calling it that?
The Peacock. That's it.
Straight
That's
up.
the name. That's the name. The
Interesting
Peacock.
move. Interesting move.
You know, because they want people to be like, hey, did you see that thing on the cock last night?
Yeah, that's not, you never put it cock in any of your branding, in any word with branding involved.
Additionally, FX on Hulu is coming to us very soon, which is a way for FX to basically get more stuff created.
Okay.
So it's just another. We're just throwing more and more heaps of content onto this already mountainous pile. But so FX is now going to have shows that go exclusively to Hulu streaming on top of Hulu's already original content.
And they don't show on FX?
And they're not going to be shown on FX. The FX shows will also be streaming on Hulu.
Interesting.
So they're just, going to be
strange distinction.
A wealth of options out there if you thought that if there was a Darth currently.
Now, I'll say this. I wasn't all that psyched to get into streaming wars. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh God, do we need to do more of these? I have so many subscriptions. My God, Disney Plus, what are we doing? But
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we've said, it's built magnificently. It's giving us all these old school movies from our childhood and shit, plus all the new stuff, plus Star Wars and all the Marvel stuff and all the other shit, plus, of course, The Mandalorian Season 1, which we thoroughly enjoyed. I thought Disney Plus was like a massive, rousing success, and I'm excited. On the other hand, Apple's don't give a fuck. Haven't watched a single second beyond
Sure.
the first episode of C, which I laughed through the first 30 minutes of, and I've not heard a single word or peep about since, so it can't have been good. I'm not sure anyone has seen it, no pun intended. And then
We do actually have a couple of listeners who
are still in?
who vouch for C.
that's to be expected.
So,
that's to be expected.
you know.
There's always going to be some people who love stuff, and that's cool.
So-
Not knocking your show or not trying to knock the fact that you love it. It's for you. I don't have to like everything you like, but which one of these out of HBO Max, FX on Hulu, the Peacock are you? Do any of these have the potential that Disney Plus had? Is it HBO Max?
Yeah,
up
it's
there as
HBO
well?
Max. What's going to be interesting moving forward here in 2020 is that the levee is about to break, because we are getting to the point where people are going to have to choose a few of these apps.
Right.
We can't just
can't
add
all have all of them.
$8-9 every single time a new one of these
That's
comes
how we
out.
get back to cable. Now I just have
That's now,
70.
we're paying $200 again for
Exactly.
all the stuff, and we don't want to do that.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see, kind of like, do people do like a bounce around thing? Do they do a few months here and a few months there? Do they cancel? And then how do the streaming services, and this is just, I have not heard anything about this. I haven't read anything. It's just an idea that I'm having. But
Sure.
like, will they start trying to pull stuff to prevent that? Because one thing that I'm always interested in is like, we've got Netflix, right?
Uh-huh.
When Netflix bump up their prices, they don't care that you've been subscribing for 7 years. You're getting hit with the new price.
Right.
I wonder if, in an effort to curb some of the bounce, if they would start
Reward
doing something like,
loyalty.
our prices are going up October 2020 for new customers.
So you get some kind of the grandfather
so if you
price.
if you cancel your membership and then come back, you're in the new rate.
Yeah, I'm interested in that, and then like the curbing of everybody sharing all of our accounts. Like we all have everybody else's got. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
anyone who's not logged into someone else's at least one other streaming service, right?
Right.
At this point, it's crazy. They don't really do much to curb any of that
Yeah.
either, because each one gets like 5 sign-ins or something.
That's pretty
before
hard
it
to
starts flagging you.
that's one, pretty difficult to control, and two,
Yeah.
I don't think they care all that much about it.
I think they folded on that at the beginning. They were like, "Fuck that part, forget
Yeah.
it. We can't do anything about it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have a lot out there, and I've got a big old list of shows here to talk about, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's, as you well know, there's gonna be stuff that just pops up and is suddenly a hit. There's gonna be stuff that's not even announced yet. We don't have release dates to some of those, but let's just run through some of the shows that are
out there. Some
that are
of the ones
supposed
that are
to
out there.
they're supposed to come back for 2020. So these are not new shows. These are shows that we will be getting new seasons of in 2020. Curb Your Enthusiasm in a couple of weeks.
Cool. I cannot wait for this. I miss Larry.
Larry David on the cover of the new GQ, by the way.
That's big.
The Good Place, after 4 seasons, is coming back for a 90-minute special on NBC, which will wrap up the whole series. The Good Place is
That's an interesting move.
I'm not all caught up, so no spoilers for you guys out there if you want to talk about Good Place. I need to watch the most recent season, which just got dropped on Netflix. But this was in the lineage of like 30 Rock, The Office, Parks and Rec, all those awesome NBC shows. This one kind of like, it's the modern day successor to those, and it's ending, and it's sad because they're not really attempting to make shows like this. I don't feel like anymore, just like nice single cam 30-minute comedies that don't take up too much of your brain power, right?
Sure.
And I mean, even in saying that, The Good Place is still pretty thoughtful show, but it's fun. You know what I mean?
Lighter than some of the others.
We got Better Call Saul coming back for season 5. One of my favorite shows out there. We've not covered it on this podcast.
It's on. This will be 5.
Yeah.
Jesus,
And
dude,
I
I'm on 1.5.
Yeah, and I find it and so you're not caught up, and I also think it's just kind of weird to like jump into these shows that have already been going on for multiple seasons. It's more fun to do like
From the get-go, sure.
from the get-go, or at least jump in on like season 2, season 3.
Well, let's say this. For all those who out there who love Better Call Saul, if the day comes where I'm caught up, we will for sure discuss.
Yeah. But the new season drops in February. That one does have a date. So you got some hours there.
To hit, yeah. Only a few.
Barry and Succession both are supposed to come back to HBO at some point in 2020.
Right on.
That's exciting.
Succession coming in 2020.
Big Mouth season 4.
I still haven't finished 3.
Yeah, I haven't either.
There's so much to watch.
But I was just on my most recent trip over the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mouth, great show for the plane, by the way.
Ah.
Because you don't need a big screen for it. Who cares? Just fun to watch.
And it's cartoons.
Cartoons.
So the nudity is cartoons. You're not offending all the people behind you.
That's exactly.
It's a problem when I
exactly
watch my pornography on the airplanes.
Right.
They get upset with you.
Yeah, they do.
Big Mouth next time for me.
So Big Mouth, Fargo, returning with a season 4.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the comeback. It's comeback season for Fargo.
Yeah, I think they took enough time off. I think I think Noah Hawley, the showrunner there, kind of knew that wasn't like.
He didn't crush that.
He didn't crush that. It was good, not great.
Good, not great.
Take some time, go back to the drawing board.
We're speaking specifically to season 3.
Yeah.
I thought 1 and 2.
And I look forward to seeing what else they got. The Mandalorian.
So that's gonna be in 2020.
Oh yeah, season 2 coming 2020. We talked a couple weeks ago about how this is like the easiest shit in the world for them to just crank out.
You think?
They don't even need their star there, number one.
Right.
The other star is Carl Weathers, who doesn't have anything else going on.
Oh my God.
The other star is a puppet.
You know what I never even considered? This probably would be crazy, but like they could film multiple Pedro Pascal scenes at the same time because you don't need him there. You just get 4 or 5 different dudes in the helm, and you got a bunch of scenes rocking in different corners as long as they don't require different characters or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe they already got like 8 seasons of this show finished.
Yeah. The last one, which I didn't know whether to put this on coming back or new, but I would be remiss if I didn't discuss, Ross, that the Pope is returning to HBO.
Is it the
But he's
young
not
Pope?
the young Pope. He is the new Pope.
Oh, it's the new Pope.
The new Pope.
Oh, good. Yeah, rebranding after 1 season makes a lot of sense.
But it is that I believe is slated to release on Monday, and I do not expect a whole lot of discussion on this podcast. It's too ethereal. It's too weird. It's too wonky to cover.
But this is still the young Pope season 2?
Yeah, but there's a new Pope now.
But it's the same show?
Same show. Jude Law is back.
But it's the new Pope.
But it's the new Pope. Because there's another guy coming in.
And is John Malkovich?
It's John Malkovich, yeah.
Is Marilyn Manson in the show now? I'm looking at a screen grab of Marilyn Manson.
So
the fuck?
Look, I have to watch this. I have to see how they follow up the insanity that was the new Pope.
Yeah, you and I, unfortunately, feel the obligation.
So we'll do some check-ins if we're able to catch some or all of the new Pope.
And for those of you who weren't here, there was a point back between seasons, I believe 6 and 7 of Game of Thrones, where Barrett and I grew quite bored and didn't know what to do. So we started covering random TV shows in great detail, one of which was The Young Pope Season 1. And several episodes into, we realized, my God, this is essentially a show that you should do like methamphetamine and watch with your artsy friends. And it didn't have a whole lot for us to discuss outside of like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Hey, this week he boxed a kangaroo. It was just like, what? It was.
Remember when those nuns were playing soccer?
I do. Those nuns had feet on them. Look, it was a fun show. It's incredibly well made. But it is very much like I think at one point we put it like it's like a moving art type of situation. Mm-hmm. It's an art exhibit. Like it's more about it's very much about the art, not about the story so much.
Yeah. Bouncing around to another HBO show. Let's talk about a big one, because this will be the first new show, the first real 2020 show that we're covering here on the pod.
Yes, sir.
HBO's The Outsider.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very. Currently, this may be at the top of my personal hype list.
Well, it starts on Sunday. We're covering it, so it's there. It's there for us, baby. It's right here. We're on the precipice, and I have heard that it is dark.
Really?
Like, super dark.
Now, is this directed by Bateman?
Yeah, I think he's directing at least some of the episodes. I think he definitely directs the pilot.
Sick. And it's a Stephen King novel.
And it's an adaptation of a Stephen King novel which I saw some of our listeners, or one of our listeners on Twitter told me was like one of his favorite Stephen King novels.
All right.
So the book has fans.
560 pages in that novel.
Some Stephen King novels do not have any fans.
Some don't. There's too many books.
Yeah.
You can't put out a book every 3 weeks and have fans for all of them, Stephen.
We gave a lot of props to Ben Mendelsohn on a recent pod as well.
Big fan
the
of Ben
cast
Mendelsohn.
Is great. This show is set up to definitely,
Scare me, baby. I want it. Bring it on.
To be a big one. Okay, one quick hit. I mentioned this show on our Patreon podcast this week. Remember we were talking Awkwafina?
We were.
Because she won a
Golden Globes, yes.
She has a new show on Comedy Central. It is called Awkwafina is Nora from Queens. We won't rehash the entire discussion, but you and I wondered if Awkwafina would eventually go the Dwayne Johnson route and like start doing her stage name in parentheses in between her real first and last name, and then eventually just drop it.
A rebrand.
Or kind of a gradual rebrand, if you will.
The Rock has somehow done it perfectly, where it's like you can either say Dwayne Johnson or Dwayne The Rock Johnson or The Rock, and everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah. And this makes me think that she's like, nope, I missed the boat on that one. It's too late. I'm Awkwafina now.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so that's coming out.
It's tough to pull 2 W's in a first name, but she's doing it. And then not have a last name.
Netflix has the Goop Lab, which we also briefly touched on the Patreon pod.
Yeah, I don't understand what this is, nor do I personally care all that
much.
This is not for me.
I don't know what it is either, but Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop, they got a whole weird lifestyle thing going on there. Mm-hmm. It's very polarizing. It is both very easy to make fun of. It is also very successful. Right. So I just had to touch on it. It's going to be on Netflix.
Goop is the brand.
Goop
is her
lifestyle brand. Yes.
With e-commerce and
they
fashion.
They make a lot of beauty products. They've done pop-ups in Dallas and Austin.
Pop-up shops. They had a wellness summit. They launched a print magazine, which
super bougie.
Everybody's doing in 2020, launching print magazines.
Going
they
back
did
to
that.
Print.
They have a podcast that may shock you.
Yeah.
And then the Netflix series coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one that I want.
Here's a word. Can I read this one sentence, please? Goop has faced criticism for marketing products and treatments that have no scientific basis.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Wikipedia, so that's not a biased statement. That's Wikipedia.
There you go.
Sorry.
This is one that I will almost definitely not be watching, but I'm very interested in it. But this is, like we just said, I got to draw the line here, and I'm not going to get CBS All Access. But the Star Trek reboot, Star Trek Picard, looks pretty sweet.
And I'm betting there will be a lot of people watching that too.
Yeah.
Star Trek, massive fan base.
One of the things that the J.J. Abrams Star Trek film reboots did really well is they took a show that I always thought looked really cheap and cheesy, which I think was part of it.
It was made in a garage for a while there, yeah.
Yeah. And they made it look badass.
Yeah.
And this Star Trek Picard looks like it's like retaining the visual language from the films.
Okay.
And it just looks really crisp.
I did like the look of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe and the way he did all of it. Yeah. I may be one behind. No, I've seen them all. Never mind.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like CBS All Access, like I just don't want to give them the $5.
Nope, I'm not doing that. Did we talk about? We talked very briefly on our Patreon episode yesterday about Don't Fuck with Cats.
We did not mention it.
Did we not mention it? Well, it's a Netflix series, documentary series that's been going kind of batshit. It's very much getting served up to the top of the algorithm, as you put earlier.
I've been having some Twitter conversations with our listeners about it.
And Jared Borislow and I discussed very briefly earlier in the week as well. And he was saying, like, nah, I'm not, we were basically like, no, man, fuck that. Like, I'm not watching cat crimes. Nope, I don't need to see cats getting murdered with vacuums. It's not my bag, baby. But he texted me last night. And he was like, dude, you got to watch this shit. He says the craziest thing he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah.
And now, while I definitely don't need him to stand by that statement, I've now heard enough buzz to where I'm very curious about this.
I just read the synopsis and was like, I very much want to watch this. And then I read the description of like the original video that he went viral for.
Yeah. And you were like,
with
nope.
The kitten killing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. I don't even want to see a glimpse of what that video looks like.
Apparently, we don't have to. apparently you only see the reactions of other people watching it or something like that, which I'm
Yeah.
not sure is any better. It's like, you know, I don't know. Watching the Red Wedding reactions was fun.
Yeah.
But
It just sounds like a really tough watch. You know what I mean?
that being said, I've been through some tough watches, and the craziness, the degree to which that story is insane, very high, and I might need to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying. You had a note here about Space Force coming on Netflix. Speaking of Netflix,
That is correct.
what is that?
Let me tell you what Space Force is, because
I'm a big Space Force fan.
because there's a big crevice in between the name of this show and what it's supposed to be about and the creators and the stars. I'm very, very much with the creators and the star. I am not really with the idea of a show about Space Force because it doesn't sound that funny to me.
Sounds huge to me.
But this is Greg Daniels, producer on The Office, creator of Parks and Rec,
And
and it's
Steve
starring
Carell.
Steve Carell.
And Carell is a creator credit as well on this,
Mm-hmm.
which interests me. Huh. So okay, let me to understand this. You're in on the concept of this being a show. You're not in on the actual military force called Space Force. You don't want us fighting in the stars with laser guns and sabers?
No. I don't think that.
This is a comedy?
Yeah, it's. There's something about, like, there's already such an absurdity to almost everything that Donald Trump does that it makes it really, really hard to, like, lampoon it.
I don't know.
Do you know
I think
what-
it's
do you know
fucking
what I mean?
hilarious.
Like, I think that SNL has had a really hard time with the Trump era
I think they've
Because-
had a hard time because they refuse to.
because it's hard to make fun of him because it is stranger than fiction.
It's so ridiculous. Everything is so ridiculous in 2019, 2020
It's like
already.
how do you parody something that, and there's I probably sound like a broken record because so many people have had that exact same take on
Sure.
on the web. But I don't know. It's just like that. Was this their best idea?
Reading the synopsis that it's an upcoming American comedy web television series created by Greg Daniels and Steve Carell, stars Carell, John Malkovich, Ben Schwartz, Diana Silvers, and Tawny Newsome. A workplace comedy that centers on a group of people tasked with establishing the sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Space Force. I'm in for that. For
Okay.
a season.
Yeah,
I'm in for a season.
I'm in. It's Greg Daniels and Steve Carell.
Yeah, that's why I'm in.
And I mean that description that you just gave me actually like gives me a little bit more hope because
The workplace comedy concept.
that part of it, people trying to figure out actually how to
Form a Space
well,
Force.
this guy just told us that we're doing Space Force, like for real.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Yeah, we have to invent laser
We have
pistols.
to like
There's guns to invent.
that is actually pretty ripe for comedy. Like the people that are actually tasked with having to install that sixth branch of the military.
Yes.
So that could be pretty funny.
And if anybody can crush the inner workings of something like that, it'd be Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how this one goes. Because how do you play with the element of realism? Like the fact that Space Force is very much a thing that is being formed in the real world with our real president in our real country. Are they going to play with Trump as a character, or is it going to be like they just never mention?
My guess is that he's never like mentioned by name, and it's just kind of, off screen in the way they operate.
Hey, did you know Matt Damon turned down Avatar?
No.
Recently came out in a Ford versus Ferrari interview. He rejected a proposal from James Cameron for the lead of Jake Sully in Avatar.
Dude, that's another thing though about Avatar. It didn't launch Sam Worthington as an actor.
Well, no, he didn't do a very good job.
I think he's pretty good in it.
I mean, yeah, but the lines they gave him are shitty. It's a cheesy movie. It's just a little cheesy.
But all the same,
Jake Sully.
hey, this dude just starred in a movie that made $2.8 billion.
Sure, fair enough.
Maybe we should like give him a chance for our shit. And then I don't know. He just
Yeah, but then he goes in for the read, and you're like, holy crap! No wonder they pulled.
that's
you.
another piece of the whole Avatar thing though. Like it didn't even mint him as a star. In fact, the person that it made a star, you can't even see in the film. It's Zoe Saldana, and like she's just we never see her actually. She's just a Na'vi.
I'll give you one of the Jake Sully lines that could have been in True Detective season 2. Everything is backwards now. Like out there is the true world, and in here is the dream. That's Jake Sully from Avatar.
Yeah.
I see you. No, man, it just had cheesy lines. And that's a good point, though. The fact that it didn't launch him into another stratosphere of stardom or even into a place where I could remember his name is weird.
Did I get his name right? Sam
I don't know.
Worthington?
Is that his name?
I think so.
It's just Jake Sully to me, baby.
Let me read you one. I'm just going to read you the description. Ex Machina and Annihilation writer and director Alex Garland's new miniseries project is about a mysterious, powerful Silicon Valley tech company that might just be evil. The cast is led by Sonoya Mizuno as Lily and also includes Nick Offerman as the company's stringy-haired CEO.
What is this?
This is called Devs, and this is an FX on Hulu show.
Okay. So you think this is real potential FX on Hulu as well?
Yeah. I love the FX on Hulu idea. It's fine with me. I already have Hulu. So a big content creator, a big network that's kind of like caught up in the streaming wars and they're not going to go start their own. FX is owned by Fox, who is now owned by Disney, but Disney Plus is not going to put FX content on their app because it's way too adult.
Right.
And so now, but Disney also owns the majority of Hulu now with the Fox acquisition. And so they're just like, oh, well, let's just have them make like all the shows that they're not going to put on FX. Like, let's just have them keep developing those and put them on Hulu. Like, this is great.
Dude, FX has mad hits.
I
Like,
know,
you don't
yes.
realize it, but they've got hits coming out for days on there. Let me read this real quickly before we finish up our discussion on stuff coming in 2020. We have a brand spanking new sponsor, Clam Fam. Brand new. Pay attention. It's called Future. One of the things I love about my Apple Watch is how easily it makes my daily routine, how it factors in, reminds me when I have meetings or calls coming up, hits me with notifications to ensure I don't miss anything important like a recording session, all kinds of good stuff. But here's something new that I love about my Apple Watch. It helps me take my personal trainer with me everywhere I go. I use an app called Future that has changed the way I'm hitting my workout goals in 2020. I was begging for an effective program to help me stay accountable at the front of this year, to keep me motivated, to get me educated and guide me through my fitness and health journey week in and week out. And finally, we have that in Future. I actually got set up with my coach this week, and I have my I have a call on Friday with my coach one-on-one to check in and talk about some of the stuff we've set up so far. My 2020 fitness routine is taking shape. I am back, baby. Future pairs you up with one of their world-class trainers and coaches to create your personalized workout plan tailored specifically to your schedule, your routine, your goals, and your progress. Your coach checks in with you daily to keep you on track. They can send you texts. They can make adjustments to your routine, follow your progress, which is logged onto your Apple Watch. And if you don't have an Apple Watch, that's no problem. When you sign up to train with Future, they send you everything you need, including an Apple Watch. Don't overpay for a trainer. Get the workouts you need to meet all your fitness goals and take your trainer with you wherever you go with Future. Sign up for Future today at tryfuture.com/OCC and get 50% off your first month. That's tryfuture.com/OCC for 50% off your first month. 50% off? Why would you not try this for a month? If you are already out of a routine, you don't have a routine, you're struggling like me, and you need a health routine, a fitness routine, something to get you up this year in 2020 in January, come through. Tryfuture.com/OCC, 50% off your first month. All right. What other movies we got coming?
You've been pounding the pavement recently, I've noticed.
You know it.
Is that from Future? Has your trainer been telling you to get out there and
pound the pavement?
And pound the pavement?
No, that was me actively trying to get in shape for Future.
Okay, yeah. You're trying to, it's like when you pre-clean for the maid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That was my detox.
That's good.
Yeah. What else we got coming?
A few more that I wanted to mention. Did you ever see the John Cusack movie High Fidelity?
I don't know that I did.
He owns a record store, and he tells the story of all of his loves, the loves of his life.
Oh yeah, I've seen this way long ago.
Through his memories of various records and music.
Yes.
This is adapted into a Hulu television show.
Jack Black was in that. High Fidelity.
Yes, yeah. And it stars Zoe Kravitz.
Oh yeah, wow, Zoe Kravitz, dude, wow, yeah.
This one is pretty high on my list because it sounds like it could be like a pretty fun watch. I like Zoe Kravitz a lot. This feels like something. She was so broody in Big Little Lies. This feels like something she is going to get to have more fun with.
Yeah,
show more personality.
She didn't get to do much in Big Little Lies, man. Especially the last season. She was just sad as hell the whole time.
So I like this concept a lot. That's coming to Hulu pretty soon. Briar Patch is coming on USA. It is notable because it is the creation of Andy Greenwald, the co-host of the Watch podcast over at The Ringer.
Wow.
Yeah. He has made the full turn from television critic to then podcaster
To television creator.
To television creator.
That's incredible.
Just goes to show you that you and I will be running a television show together, just like David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Goes without saying.
In a matter of years.
Few years.
We're like a few years away from this.
Couple few.
So,
Couple few.
just very exciting stuff for us.
One Bill Simmons handshake away.
I really like Andy. He's always super insightful, and so I'm very hopeful for his show. I want it to be good. Executive producer is Sam Esmail, who is the showrunner, creator, writer, director of Mr. Robot.
We got a good cast for this one too.
So
baby.
yeah, so
Rosario Dawson.
That is something to pay attention to. I think I get USA on YouTube TV. This is another thing where I'm like, well, I don't know how to watch a USA show currently.
I don't know anything about YouTube.
But maybe
TV.
it's on my YouTubes.
I feel like my mom or dad right now, and you're the child telling me about a new technology that I don't understand. YouTube TV.
Last one that I'm going to give you here, and on this one I'm going to read you the description, and you can tell me how excited you are for it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get down to it.
I can't wait to see Nick Offerman in something else.
Here we go.
In devs.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge executive produces this cosmic thriller in which she also co-stars opposite Domhnall Gleeson and Merritt Weaver.
Okay. Well, I mean, anything she does at this point is going to get me incredibly excited.
That is how. Now I'm going to tell you that it's coming on HBO.
Wow.
And it's called Run.
What? What is the premise? Ooh, it's a thriller.
It's a thriller.
Oh, it's thrilling. So it's not going to be a Phoebe Waller-Bridge kind of what we would expect in terms of comedy.
No, but this is a perfect segue because Phoebe Waller-Bridge, as brilliant of a comedy writer as she is with the 25-minute episodes of Fleabag, did you know that she is also like a pretty sought-after Hollywood script doctor?
I did not, but that makes sense.
So I'm going to talk about a few movies real quick. One of, I believe she is even getting a writing credit on because they handed her the script and were like, do work.
And she just went off?
No Time to Die.
Wow, okay.
The supposedly final film of Daniel Craig's Bond tenure.
Why do you say supposedly?
Well, because everybody is saying that it's his last film as Bond.
But we don't know for sure yet?
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, so she probably has a ton of uncredited writing stuff she's done as a result of being a script doctor, because that's typically somebody they bring in after the fact. They do this with books a lot too, by the way. Mm-hmm. They'll bring in another writer to make your book look and sound better.
Yeah.
They were going to do that with my book, and I said, fuck you guys, no.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened. They were like, we're doing this. And I was like, are you really? And then they were like, actually, you know what? You're not worth it. And they ended up like not doing it. And I was like, tight.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. But that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. Let me gauge your interest on some of these other movies and sequels. Wonder Woman 1984.
Excited about that. Is it a full-blown preview or a teaser that I watched?
Oh, there's a full preview now.
I think I watched the full. It looked fucking awesome.
The movie posters look really good. I love the first one. I have no idea how they bring Chris Pine back, but they do, and that seems great. Okay, Top Gun Maverick.
This is one of those ones where it's like such an obvious win that I'm like not psyched. Like I'm gonna go see it, and I love Top Gun 1. Rewatched it a couple weeks ago.
This movie could be utter shit, and it's still going to probably be like a top 5 movie of the year for me.
Yeah. You're that pumped for it?
I'm that pumped for it. There have already been... I've already seen like some of the behind the scenes type of stuff where all of the actors, and like this is because Tom Cruise is such a crazy professional. You know, he's just like, we're doing it the right way. We're doing it my way. They're like all riding around in fighter jets getting used to the actual G-forces. Like actors are throwing up on the side of set because they just went on on a insane fighter pilot jet cruise thing.
Yeah, I was like, dude, he resurrected Mission Impossible
he's riding around saying the lines, doing the thing, passing out. This man's crazy, and I love him for it because he is so committed.
Didn't he strap himself to the side of a 747
yes,
or something?
or like a military jet and
Yeah.
let it fly. Rocks were hitting him in the face, getting kicked up off the runway. He is insane. Do you know who doesn't care about winning an Oscar ever in his entire life? Tom Cruise. He just wants to strap himself into a helicopter and like crash it into a mountain and put it in the Mission Impossible 7 or whatever. Miles Teller, Glenn Powell, they're playing beach volleyball with their jeans on. They look jacked and sweaty and oily. I love it.
Hell
Just
yeah.
give it all to me.
Top Gun 2. Who would have thought? I didn't think we'd see the day.
There is a Candyman reboot.
The horror film?
Yes.
I don't know about...
I think it stars Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta, and I'm also pretty sure it is being produced by...
Written by Jordan Peele.
Written by Jordan Peele.
And co-produced, and okay, never mind. I'm in for that then.
so you're in for that.
Goes without saying.
Cats, big debacle. Lin-Manuel Miranda, not so great in his Dark Materials.
Rough stretch for him.
In the Heights, I'm in on this.
Okay.
This is him in his wheelhouse.
This is his wheelhouse.
Yes.
This is where he should be.
Yeah.
Dancing and singing and giving us this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just had to mention it.
Hey, I have a question.
We like musicals here.
I love musicals, dude.
I think this one's going to be a hit.
I'm a big fan of musicals.
Yeah.
I just fucking hate Cats, the musical. Not the cats, the felines. Love them. Hate the musical. love the animals. Question.
Yeah.
Top Gun 2, are they going to be doing young Tom Cruise CGI flashback shit?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
right.
I don't think Tom Cruise is in on that.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that because I just feel like that just gets scary quick.
Ross, one of my favorite things about seeing the new Star Wars film is that I got to see the full trailer for Christopher Nolan's new movie, Tenet.
Tenet, is that one of the catches with Star Wars? They've attached this trailer to it?
Yeah, you can probably see it on YouTube, but I didn't know that there was a full trailer out for it. And it basically feels like a spiritual sequel to Inception.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're dealing with like flipping time on its head in various ways.
Christopher Nolan, dude.
It stars John David Washington.
But it's Christopher Nolan.
And yeah,
Oh, you didn't say that, did you?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
And Robert Pattinson, and I think we're getting the Robert Pattinson
Michael
the Pattinson
Caine.
Sons.
Oh, the Pattinson Sons.
I think we're getting that in
it's
2020.
the renaissance of Robert Pattinson.
Correct.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, he's in it because he's in all the movies.
All the Christopher Nolan movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many other regulars will be in there from the Nolan films.
Clam Fam, if you have not gone and watched the trailer for Tenet, please do so now. This is honestly, out of everything on this list, this is
What
the
do
movie.
I do? I can't watch it right now. We're doing the show.
I know, but we're almost done. This is the movie I'm most excited for in 2020.
The whole year? I haven't even seen the trailer.
I know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm psyched to watch the trailer.
But Christopher Nolan is probably my favorite director.
Yeah, he's up there for me too, for sure. Like, I mean, dude, those movies rule.
Yeah.
Dark Knight rules. Inception fucking rules.
Interstellar, love Interstellar. Yeah.
Great. I love that movie. Gets made fun of more and more nowadays for some reason. Interstellar.
We talk about David Fincher sometimes on this podcast. He has a movie coming out called Mank, starring Gary Oldman, and it is about the dude that wrote Citizen Kane.
That's very meta. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever watched Citizen Kane?
I have not.
Rosebud. Every time I ask you this and you say no, I'm just going to do the Rosebud thing and you're going to keep looking at me like I'm fucking insane. I've never seen it either. I just know it ends with that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And it's supposed to be like his childhood bicycle or
Sure.
some shit.
Seems like a big deal.
Yeah.
Probably awards fair at the end of the year or something.
Sure.
Last one.
David Fincher.
Last movie I'm going to tell you about.
What's up? Hit me with it.
Have you ever heard of the book from the 1960s called Dune?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is it's like a revolutionary sci-fi book.
And it was a movie in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yes, and adapted and directed by David Lynch, the Twin Peaks guy.
Okay, yeah.
It was a massive flop.
Okay.
But Dune is hugely famous and has basically been like the inspiration, or at least has inspired many of like the most groundbreaking and most successful
Science fiction stuff.
So
it's an adaptation of Frank Herbert's cult science fiction novel.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are trying again in 2020, and we've got the guy Denis Villeneuve, who directed Arrival.
Oh, that movie was sick.
Which I really liked. He's
really good.
He's directed a couple really good films.
If you like alien movies, Arrival was very good.
Got a very, very good cast. Among them is Timothée Chalamet.
Chalamet.
I believe I tried to figure this out, but I couldn't quite.
Oh shit, Zendaya.
There's a movie coming out in 2020, but there is also an HBO Max series about Dune as well, I believe.
That's very confusing.
So we're going full steam on Dune in 2020.
Somebody's gonna nail Dune this year.
And they're really trying here. They're
Hold on though. Hold on.
They're digging this out of its grave, and they're saying this is going to be the thing.
This one that has Chalamet in it. Now there may be confusion on the internet as well, but it appears the one with Chalamet in it also has Zendaya, Jason Momoa, and Stellan Skarsgård, which I would have to guess is the HBO one, right?
No, that's the film.
They got all them HBO people on it though. That's Skarsgård, Momoa, Zendaya just all happen to be HBO people that are in the non-HBO Dune?
Because it's all produced by Warner. Huh. This is all like it's a concerted effort. They're doing the movie and the series. It's all produced by Warner. One's a film. One will be on HBO Max.
One of the photos for Dune on IMDb is Pikachu, which I don't really fully grasp. You know what? Maybe. Okay, yeah, you're right. Chalamet, Zendaya. Is the other guy in this? I don't see his name now that I've pulled up the IMDb. Huh. Well, that'll be interesting to see if they can do it. Pull it off.
It will be.
Messing with cult classic science fiction stuff.
By the way,
it's tough.
I know as much about Dune as I know about The Witcher. Like, I don't know what the story is.
You're not a Dune dude.
I'm not a Dune head.
You're not.
But so I really don't know what to expect or what we might see Dune and be like, oh yeah, this is every other science fiction movie. Like this is just a retread of everything that was already pulled off of Dune in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be weird.
But it certainly sounds cool. They've got good people attached to it. They're obviously pouring a lot of resources into it.
Chalamet's got the hair to pull off the main character.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
So, yeah.
Good stuff. Hell, a lot to look forward to. Anything else that we forgot?
No. That's everything that's on my list. And again, we're just barely scratching the surface of what's going to be out there this year.
Tip.
We are 8 days into January. We're 8 days into the year.
8.
And this is already like an overwhelming list.
An amount of stuff. Yeah. No, it's intimidating. When you look at it all written down, it's intimidating. But Barry, you got to remember that list you came up with last year.
I know.
Of all the stuff you wrote, or saw, watched.
Yeah.
It was much longer than this.
Yes.
It was much longer than this. Drop a coin for your Witcher. All right, that'll do it for today's episode of OCC. Huge thanks to our sponsors again for supporting the show. Make sure you support them to support us. Barry, do we want to talk a little bit about patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles in January quickly?
Yeah,
we
should. Patreon.com/oysters, clams, and cockles. That is where you can get all of our bonus content.
Yeah, ad-free premium content on patreon.com/oysters, clams, cockles. We do a couple different tiers there for you to pick from to support the show and get additional ad-free premium content each month. The Mollusk Militia, of course, is going to afford you 4 additional podcasts this month of January, whereas the Clam Fam will afford you 3. It's a great way to get more OCC, hear more of me and Barrett, watch more stuff with other stuff that we cover on there that we don't cover elsewhere. We already did a great Golden Globes recap discussing that for an hour. Was a ton of fun.
That's right. The Mollusk Militia is if you're a big time member of the Clam Fam, if you want to interact with us, if you want to call into our hotline, that is the tier for you. It's one of the best parts
an exclusive hotline
about this show. We love interacting on Twitter. We love hearing y'all's takes and your voices on our hotline. We like answering your questions. It's one of our favorite things about doing this podcast. That is the Mollusk Militia. If you just want the bonus pods where we talk about other stuff that we don't talk about on the weekly ad based. Then you can go for the Crustacean Nation.
Crustacean Nation.
This month on Patreon, if you watch the Golden Globes on Sunday, Ross and I really, really enjoyed them thoroughly. We did a whole podcast kind of recapping them, talking about...
If you didn't watch them...
We gave out some awards. Yeah, even if you didn't...
It'll give you an idea what happened.
Yeah, probably a pretty fun pod. And we are going to... Obviously, we'll have... at the end of the month, we'll have our hotline call for the Mollusk Militia. And then in between, I know that we are going to do our movie club on 1917.
I can't wait.
Which some people are saying, is the best war movie since Saving Private Ryan.
That's a lot of hype to put on a film.
Yeah.
But it just won Best Picture at the Globes.
It did.
And it's not even out yet.
So.
And then the guy begged us. He went up on stage and he said, please, see it in theaters. So we're going to.
Yeah.
We're
so
trusting
going
him.
And then we've kind of got a bit of a blank space there. Boop. We have considered maybe doing like a throwback movie club.
Yeah. Perhaps watching an old classic.
An old classic.
And covering that.
Yeah. So
we'll figure it out. But lots of good shit coming all January long.
Yes, if you have any, if you feel strongly, if you think there's like a movie that is just perfect for us that we need to go back and watch and do on the Patreon, please tweet at us at Clams and Cockles, at WR Bolen, at Barrett Dudley.
If you remember like an example of one through the years that either Barrett or I, one of us saw and the other didn't, I'd be interested to maybe do one of those at some point as well as doing a throwback.
And please keep in mind that like as much as I would love to do like a Billy Madison, that's just going to be me and Ross sitting here quoting lines back and forth to each other
for a straight hour.
We're basically just going to redo the movie, just
and drive you insane.
And yeah, and being like that part was so funny. No, this part was so funny.
Yeah,
that part is so funny.
It has to be something worthy of like deeper discussion.
Yeah, always consider that we like look for something that we can kind of like chew on and you know.
Unless it's the young pope, in which case, for whatever reason, you can't chew on that. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's just too flavorful.
Those are just vibes that you just got to let soak into the skin.
Yeah, that just becomes part of you.
What you have to do with the young and the new pope is you have to get a little knife. And you have to cut a piece of its arm skin off.
Right, a square.
And then a square, like a rectangle or a square, and then you eat it, and then you let your friend stab you and gut you with a knife.
Pull all your intestines out.
And then
then they can tell where the girl is.
Touch your guts
to know where the.
And then they can interpret the new and the young pope.
Yes,
that's
how you understand it. This is the way. Everybody knows it.
This is the way.
And that will do it for today's episode of OCC. Huge thanks again to our sponsors, patreon.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. On social media, we're on Instagram at Oysters, Clams, Cockles. On Twitter, at Clams and Cockles. Facebook.com/Oysters, Clams, Cockles. You can follow me, Ross Bolen, at WRBOLEN, at WR Bolen on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You can also listen to my other show, the Ross Bolen Podcast, wherever OCC is available. So is RBP. Speaking of which, video in 2020 is now available to everyone. So you don't have to just listen. You can watch this show. Bolen Media has a YouTube channel. We're pumping out the links on social media. The very video of this entire episode will be available there. If you just listened to the entire thing and went, no, I could have watched. Well, now you know. Next week.
Huge.
Or you can go back and watch, and now we're getting double the credit for your listening. That's just great stuff, right?
That is.
Stoked about this, though. Barrett and I have been doing video here at Permanent Record for a few months. It was only available on Patreon in 2019. We appreciate each and every one of y'all who came through and supported while we got our whole room set up. Everything they've done here at Permanent Record has been awesome for us. If you're watching right now, you see it, you know it. If you're not watching, you got something to look forward to. The studio is dope. The setup is very cool. We got a 3 cameras set up at a minimum. I can't really count. And we have a really good time doing the show. And it is an added element to get to watch us enjoy it as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'll throw links everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, probably Facebook too, I guess. Barrett, where can we follow you on social media and hear more of your voice?
At Barrett Dudley on social media, and check out the Club Cool podcast, which returns after a brief hiatus.
Holiday hiatus.
Tomorrow. And I don't totally know exactly what we're talking about yet, but I promise you it is going to be a doozy. A real doozy. It's going to be
sexy.
Yeah, it's just going to be I'm getting end of the year feedback from the cool kids over there.
Oh yeah?
And I just have a feeling that tomorrow's episode is going to be hot.
You're excited for it?
Yeah.
I like to see the excitement in your face, Barrett. It brings me great joy. Check out Club Cool, check out RBP, and we'll be back next time for some more OCC. Until our next helping, adios, muchachos.